Hello guys and welcome to this video. Now you'll know that I really do like the Seiko-Oak style. This is one that I came up with a few years ago now. Super popular mod on my store as well. That's svkwatches.ae. All the links to my stuff is going to be in the description as well. But yes, I came up with this design mixing a Seiko SNKP21 Arabic Dial with a 42mm AP style case, and I remember saying this looks OEM plus, like it, with this hand type, with I don't know, everything about it just doesn't look like we're trying too hard. It looks like Seiko could have made this almost, but obviously it's supposed to be an AP homage. I don't know if they even make an Arabic Dial version, but perhaps they do. Either way, I was really happy with this, and so were many of my followers. So that was a couple of years ago. Since then, I have had many requests for the same kind of watch, but in a smaller case size. This is a large watch. It's actually classified as 41 on most of the stores that carry this case. However, I've always said it was 42. It wears more like a 42, 43 because of the length of the case and the integrated bracelet. It's limited for rubber straps or anything in this as well. It's kind of hard to find the straps for it. So you're really stuck with the bracelet, although the bracelet, in my opinion, is the best part about it. I love that sort of wrist roll effect you get with the brushed surfaces. So I've tried these cases from various suppliers over the years. I find that the quality can be varied. I tend to order 2 cases at a time just to be sure, because I have received them with broken glass, with missing screw or something like that. So the quality overall is good for the money, but these aren't as high-end as most of the sort of Seiko mod parts I use. So the key issue there was firstly the size. For most people this is simply too big. And the second issue for me building this, occasionally I get stuck with poorer quality finishing or parts that aren't exactly as I expected. This one is good. This one is ordered recently off my store, so this one's heading off to, I think it was Germany. But either way, I'm quite excited to show you some new developments for these cases as well. Firstly, around a year ago, we started getting new colors. So this is one I've just built quickly for this video. This is an SRPD 31, I believe, dial and handset in a full rose gold version of the same case. Now the coating is quite good. It's actually more scratch proof than even just the plain steel. I believe it's some type of PVD coating. It's not real gold, of course. But apart from the cool new look, the size is the same, and that is a sticking point for some of my clients. A lot of you guys have smaller size wrists and you simply wouldn't be able to wear these watches. So the good news is there is a new case available now, and the extra good news is actually brilliant quality too. This is it. I managed to find this from a otherwise unknown supplier on AliExpress. Now, I don't usually get my parts from AliExpress, but some cases I've been checking out recently because the quality seems to be improving, and a lot of the mod parts shop suppliers often get the same parts anyway with a bit more quality control. So this case I found, and I was excited to hear that it was 39. So this is definitely smaller than the previous gen. You can see here, I'll try and hold them up in focus together. Okay, it's not visually hugely smaller, but in person I can tell you it definitely appears smaller, perhaps a little more proportionate to the actual AP, because I believe they were also 39 as a maximum size. I could be wrong, someone can correct me there. The bracelet style, finish and everything is about the same. There is one change in the bracelet though, I'll mention later. And the biggest difference, I'd say, is apart from the overall size, is how easy it is to mod this. This one, if you followed one of my tutorials, you'll remember me mentioning about this chapter ring. That is an SKX size chaptering on the right, which you have to use in this case, otherwise there'll be a gap there between the dial and the edge. With this one, you don't need to do that anymore. There is no chaptering, so it's actually quite easy to modify this case because you just create a dial and handset on a Seiko movement with the date at 3 and or the crown at 3 I should say, and it will just drop straight in. It just pushes in really quite accurately as well. So I've been really impressed with not only the size of this new case, also the modability and the ease of use. So I will be making a tutorial video specifically for this case. It shouldn't be very long either because it is quite straightforward. So if you've been waiting for a smaller size AP Royal Oak type case for Seiko modding, this is the best one. So let's have a closer look at it. I do have some calipers as well, so I'll do some measurements at the end if you want to stick around and watch. You'll have some wrist shots from me, although my wrists are quite large, so I definitely fit the larger size anyway. But having a look at this, other little details I've spotted. Firstly, the crown action on this is super smooth. I've also noticed that with the screws on the bracelet. Some of the cases I used to get early on of this type, the crown often felt a little bit crunchy, a little bit rough to use. This one really doesn't. I mean, it's impossible for me to show you that on the video, but even with these ridiculous gloves on, I can't find one area where it's rough. It's just smooth, and it just adds a bit of confidence. I think the first case of the older style that I ever received, I broke the crown on the first go. I had to get a new case because they wouldn't sell me the crown on its own. I wouldn't say that is an issue with this anymore at all. I mean, the current generation of the larger cases are also better now, but yeah, first thing I noticed was the crown. That's sometimes an issue for some cheaper cases you find on AliExpress. Speaking of prices, this case set, I believe, was around $85 to $90, and I will leave the link for it in the description from the seller I used. It's the first set I've ordered. There are also, there is one slightly odd thing in that you have to order the case and the bracelet separately. I'm not sure why they do it that way. The first time I ordered, I made the mistake. I just got the case and forgot the bracelet, so make sure you order the case and the bracelet if you're planning to do something like this. I'll tell you about the dial and everything and the movement I've used in a minute. Also, screws like this for the bracelet attachment, much better quality than the previous generation. You can unscrew these, take it out. I'm hoping to find some nice rubber straps or even leather straps we can use with these later. But sometimes the previous style cases, it was very hard to remove the screws without snapping them off. There's also the screws I've mentioned already. Another thing to watch out for is this clasp. There are actually 4 screws there. If you ever put one of these together, make sure you fasten these carefully. And then under here, you've got, this one's got an NH35 movement in it, but you've got the, I think it's 8s, is it? Yeah, 8 screws in the corners there. Make sure you use an appropriate size screwdriver and be careful not to slip and scratch the finish in the back. Now, speaking of finish, it might not show up so good here, but I feel like this one, the newer case, a little bit more expensive than the older version as well, is a little finer. It's smoother, it's less dramatic. I quite like the sort of industrial, like matte look of these links, but these are definitely nicer finished, in my opinion, just to feel. Also, I would expect these show up scratches a little bit less. That's one thing with the older, larger type cases I did find in the past was that they would scratch incredibly easily, and this style of bezel, if you get some scratches on it, it stares you right in the face every day you wear the watch. So overall, I think you can probably tell I'm really happy with this new case, and I would highly recommend you guys to try it if you're modding yourself, or if you've been waiting for a smaller size Seiko mod case, you can do it. We could put this dial in here, no problem. Because of the chapter ring that sort of juts down and drops down vertically, you will want to choose dials with without markers that go right to the edge. So this one would just about work, but perhaps a SRPE Arabic Dial, or even the SNK063 Seiko Arabic Dial if you're going for an Arabic one. I'm sure this would look good with pretty much any other Seiko dial as well. Speaking of dials, this is also a lovely blue color, which I think is actually really similar to the AP blue, which is this sort of muted blue. It's not a bright blue, it's quite like a dull blue color, but this one's a sunburst dial. This one comes from Watch and Style. They've recently released a bunch of new dials, including options like this with the logo, options without the logo, options without anything apart from the numbers. So I'm really happy with these dials from Nico and Watch and Style in the Philippines. Excellent quality, really impressed. They've got some great colors. You should check out the green one. I love that green color dial. So the hands, by the way, are also Nautilus hands from Watch and Style. Again, nice quality, great loom, equal to Seiko. The movement here has got an Arabic date as well, but you can obviously choose any Seiko movement. I'm curious to try a skeletonized version of this. In fact, I might even do that for the video soon. So guys, what do you think? If you've been waiting for a 39mm Arabic dial, or not even an Arabic dial, 39mm or smaller size AP Seiko mod case, I think this is the one. So guys, here is a wrist shot. This is, my wrist is about 19.5 centimeters, or 7.75 inches. So this is the 42, I like to call it, Seiko-Oak case. This one is actually sized down a little bit to more an average size, so I can't close it fully. But you get my, I think you get what I mean regarding this one. Actually fits me pretty well. It does always look a little different on the camera. It always looks bigger on the camera. For me, I'd say that would be a great size. However, most people's wrists are definitely smaller than mine. So if you do want to try a smaller option, I'll quickly show you this one. This one probably won't fit me either, but I'll try and lock it. Here we go. Oh, almost. I'm not gonna wear it so low so you can sort of see a comparison, but you can kind of see that actually this would suit me as well. So I think as a versatile option, if you're not sure, definitely have a look at this case. I think for anyone with a smaller wrist size, this is perfect. Let's take some actual measurements and then we'll close out the video there. So first up guys, let's have a look at the overall width. I'm gonna try and do this without the crown. I have taped up my parts, my calipers. So yeah, 42. I'm not totally sure why they call it 41, but that is most definitely 42. Then this lug to lug is very difficult to measure. I'm gonna go for just the ends of the case. That is 52. So this is the size that most people notice about the watch really. So 52 is definitely a large lug to lug this way. And then the thickness, I believe the thickness is about the same. I think the new version is a little bit thinner. It is just over 12. There is some tape on these calipers. I did zero it, but yeah, let's call it 12mm thick, 42, and then 52 approximately, or just over. So let's have a look at the newer case now. So I'd be recommending this just off the finish quality, the ease of use of it, compatibility straight out of the box, exactly 39. Yeah, so this one actually does what it says. And also, I'm curious about this thickness, if it is actually any thinner. It is slightly thinner, about 11.7, not noticeably. I'll show you some comparison of the side profile as well in a minute. And then what was the last one? It was the lug to lug. Again, you can see the problem here is that this integrated bracelet, as nice as it looks, it does curl with the wrist. So it's a bit hard to get the right fit. But if I sort of try and measure the same sort of position, it's about 48. So significantly less in terms of lug to lug on this one. And I think that's what really makes the difference here. If you look down the side profile, I found this quite interesting. This one on the right, on the left in now, is the larger case. And they've been quite clever with how they hide that width. But on the right, it's a bit more slab-sided. Perhaps someone can comment and tell us which one is more similar to the actual AP, because I've never held one before. But overall, the 39 would be my pick. A little too small for me. So for myself, I'd still be going 42. But I really like the quality. If you're looking to start having a go at some mods, definitely check this one out. Links in the description, guys. Follow me on Instagram. Give us a message if you're interested in any of these watches. And check out my website, SBK Watches, based here in Dubai, for all of your custom Seiko needs. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you next time.